Hello, hello, and welcome to the Off Leash podcast. We're happy that you joined us for today's show. Remember, we're not here to say what you want us to say. We are here to be an advocate for your pet. I am your host, Molly Van Branken, and I am joined with Ben Dowdy.
Thanks for having me again.
Long time no see.
I know. You guys finally let me back in. We just got to wait till Dr. Pete leaves, and then I get to come in and be a shitty replacement and take all the spotlight from him.
That's okay, because we are about to do a little bit of a new segment today. But before we get into that, how's things in your world?
Good, busy, hot. Right now here in Michigan, we are getting smashed with the heat wave. It was hot yesterday, just looking outside at the window right now. It's just
It's
hot
very muggy.
and muggy.
I can feel it in my hair. My hair is like super...
I believe it. It's tough. Tough world out there for
people with long hair.
For Duke and I.
For Duke and
Duke's got a lot of hair. It's hot.
Oh my gosh.
It's hot.
You don't have long hair. You don't know the struggles of long hair.
I don't have long hair, but it's still hot outside. It doesn't change that. That's
true. Well, been doing a lot of dog training lately?
No, almost none in this heat.
You're such a wimp.
I got an old ass dog that doesn't need to be.
How old is Duke?
6.5.
Oh my God, Sage is
He's a veteran.
Sage is like 5.5, and she went out and trained yesterday.
Yeah, but old man Duke needs his air conditioning and a couple ice cubes. And
you are the problem. No wonder
I didn't want to go out there either. You're right. Yeah. That's probably the problem.
I was gonna say condition that dog for some harsh conditions. Just kidding. Always take your dog inside when it's hot if you feel like you can't work your dog. Yeah, I was about to say, you're giving
some pretty fucked up advice.
I know. I'm sorry. I redact my comment. So, today, we're doing a little bit different of a topic or plan today. Ben and I are going to choose a topic in the dog world, and we are going to debate over it. And I'm not just talking debate like chat about it. I'm talking like competitive, who's going to win this debate.
Yep, I've been exclusively told that I have to defend this side of the topic as if my life counts on it.
Yes. Even if you don't believe in it.
Even if it's shitty.
Even if you don't believe in it. It is all about who wins this debate. So.
We're going to try our best.
I'm going to win.
You got a really good start here with the first one.
Okay. I'm going to win. I am very competitive with this stuff, and I feel like I never lose arguments.
Yeah, you're tough to deal with. Just always thinks you're right, even when you're wrong.
I know I'm right. That's why I don't lose. Just kidding. And then when I know I'm wrong, I'll go and, maybe I was wrong. But I still won that.
Never heard that from you before.
Only because you never let me win the argument. If you let me win the argument, then I'd stop and be like, okay, maybe I was wrong. But thank you for letting me win that argument. I'm competitive about this stuff. So today's topic is table scraps versus no table scraps. Do you want to pick which one you're doing?
Well, I already was given mine. I am the table scraps. 4 table scraps.
Do you give your dog table scraps?
Depends. He gets some stuff.
My dogs,
but very, very limited.
My dogs definitely get table scraps. But I am going to be debating for no table scraps.
Which is the better side to be on?
Let's go.
All right.
Would you like to give...
No, you can lead the way. You said you're going to win. Start out with a bang here. What do you got?
Okay. Why give your dog table scraps when there's so many... Not a good idea because there's so many toxins in people food. There's so many options of people just giving dogs table scraps that they don't even know that are toxic to dogs. Like avocados, onions, grapes. Those things are all detrimental to your dog's health. Obviously, we learned that in some circumstances, they'd have to eat a lot of it for it to be detrimental. But you should not be giving them those things anyway because they could cause an upset stomach. They can cause an adverse food reaction, food allergies.
See, I'm going to stop you right there. Okay. Because my little research I did right there calls that shit all bullshit.
Okay.
So now, obviously, giving table scraps, you need to be informed to make sure that you're not giving your dog something they shouldn't have. There are things out there that we all know bad for your dog. Don't be handing your dog.
I'm just throwing out a blanketed statement.
That's fine.
Table scraps in general.
However, there was a research study that was published in February of last year, February 2023, from US. It was on USA Today because it was some of the first time there was research out there saying that some table scraps may have benefits for your dog. And this is the poll out of the article that I think is really important for puppies and young dogs, especially. So they called out puppies and young dogs. Older dogs probably need to be more careful. Just like we have to do with
Okay.
older citizens. So puppies and young dogs that are fed a highly processed dry kibble, so not Voyager dog food, but some of the shittier dog food products out there.
Okay.
They are more likely to develop GI issues versus those young dogs and puppies that were given a mix of human foods and table scraps. For whatever reason, those dogs, over the courses of their first, second, and third years of life, given those table scraps, were able to build up a better resistance to food allergies, GI issues, and were likely to have less stomach problems.
Okay, but dogs that are older, in fact, could, if given the wrong table scraps, develop pancreatitis.
Well, if you have a dog that you're giving too much dog food to and already needs to lose weight, might develop pancreatitis.
But this is caused by eating fatty foods, and it can be fatal in dogs.
Absolutely. That's why your dog food choice is so important too. That might have nothing to do with table scraps. We all know of people in our families that have older dogs that have all kinds of problems, and they've had a great life and great foods.
Yeah, but you don't want those enzymes getting into the abdominal cavity, because that can cause pancreatitis. That can cause bile ducts, gallbladder, intestines, and adjacent structures of their organs to get messed up.
But as the research states, if you do this wisely and start at a young age, you will never run into those problems, because the dog's body will now have the developed traits needed to handle those increased liver enzymes. If they have to deal with the fattier food or something that might be more sugar, more salt than what they're normal to, if you develop it at a young age and you're careful about it and make wise choices, just like anything else, moderation would be key. We don't need to serve your dog a piece of a whole pizza, but if they got a couple pepperonis, they're going to be okay.
Okay, here's my biggest argument with that. Training. If you give your dog table scraps, especially when you are eating yourself and you reach down to hand your dog a piece of food, it is automatically going to assume, oh, every single time that the human is eating, I'm going to go up and bother that human for food.
That's a very fair point, but I think that's a little off topic. If you want to go down the training hole, train your dogs better from the start, where they don't come to the table and beg. Take the food away from the table. Go place it in their bowl when you're done eating to give them your table scraps.
But
you don't have to feed them at the table.
That can preemptively, they understand if they are eating at the table, and then that could lead to counter surfing, and it could lead to the dogs eating foreign objects that they think that are on the counter that they think they might be food.
Do you have any evidence, or are we just making up random shit?
No, it's right here. It says foreign bodies. Dogs that are trained to eat table scraps, they tend to be counter surfers a little bit more. So they hop up on the counter, they eat a loaf of bread, they eat fruits or whatever you have laying up on the front of the counter. Sometimes dogs have even, because I don't know what you do with grapes. Do you put your grapes in the fridge?
Yeah.
I put my grapes in a little bowl next to my fridge. If my dogs were counter surfers, they would jump up there and eat grapes and die.
Now, you do have dogs that you feed table scraps to. And
I don't feed them table scraps.
And you have dogs that you feed lots of stuff to that you probably shouldn't. Are they jumping? Is Sage jumping up on the counter and stealing grapes out of the bowl?
No, because she'd know that she'd get her butt beat for that.
Oh, so we're going right back to the training side of things. You said, "Oh, we're training your dog." Well, if you just train your dog good to start, give him a little bit of treats on the side, a little bit of human table scraps on the side isn't going to be a problem. Again, moderation's key. It doesn't need to be every time you sit there and eat, and it doesn't need to be every option on the table. But if there's some things that you find out that your dog likes, there's no reason not to. Also, and don't you even love your dog? Do you hate your dogs so much that you're unwilling to let them ever try a piece of real chicken or a piece, I don't know, whatever it could be, some rice from your food, maybe a little piece of bread.
That's another point. That's another point. If you're serving meat, if you reach down and give your dog a piece of meat from the table, how much of that meat is coated in salt or some type of dressing or dipping sauce? Or
if we refer back to the research, if started at a young age, these are not a problem.
Processed.
In moderation.
Processed food. So it's like, obviously the chicken itself, if it was just plain, that wouldn't be a problem. But I assume, are you eating plain chicken? Or are you putting like teriyaki sauce or barbecue sauce or
both?
I don't think that barbecue sauce and teriyaki sauce are necessarily good for dogs.
So again, back to my original point, if you make wise and educated decisions, I'm not going to give my dog a piece of chicken that's smothered in barbecue sauce. I'll give him a piece that doesn't have any barbecue sauce.
Okay, what about bone splinters?
Again, wise, smart decision. I'm not giving my dog the whole goddamn turkey. I'm giving him a piece of the turkey breast. He's not
you didn't clarify that.
I have wise, educated decisions. I'm not giving him avocado, but if I want to give him a piece of my banana when I'm eating breakfast, or if I had some other kind of a fruit, here's a piece of my strawberry.
What if that food had salmonella in it?
if you start your dog off at an early age, they will build up those tolerances.
I need to see this article.
From USA Today, February something 2023. It's right there.
Feeding your dog's table scraps could actually cause allergies.
It may already show the allergies that your dog has, but if we're speaking directly towards stomach and gut health, feeding your dog a mix of these table scraps in small, moderate portions, not every single day, and making wise choices on what you're giving your dog. Yeah, in my case, I'm going to avoid beef, wheat, and dairy. We know those are the 3 most common food allergies in dogs. So I'm not giving my dog a hamburger. I'm not giving him a handful of cheese. I'm not giving him a loaf of bread. But may I give him a piece of my chicken when I'm done eating? Yeah. Maybe I'll give him some, a little bit of, I don't know. I can't even think of anything.
What about calories? Calories add up, especially for overweight pets.
A rule of thumb is that treats as a whole should never make up more than 10% of your dog's caloric intake during the day. So just like humans, just like dogs, if we make wise, moderate decisions for our dogs, they'll be fine. So if you decide that you're going to give your dog some chicken or some, my case, Duke's birthday comes up, he gets rice, corn, and chicken. I make it for him and add it to his kibble.
Bull. I've seen you to give that dog ice cream.
I have given him ice cream. I'm not gonna lie. And you know what? He's doing just fine
with sprinkles.
I like sprinkles. I assumed he would too. That was his first birthday. I have now learned and re-educated myself that dairy's not the solution. So for his birthday, I make him some white rice, some plain chicken, a little bit of corn, and I throw it in his bowl with his food. Now, I'm not giving him the same amount of dog food I would normally. I cut the food back to like a quarter and put the other stuff in there. So I'm replacing the amount of food calories with other calories and making sure he's still getting his normal daily intake.
Oh, I got a good argument right now. Kids are a main problem for this food scrap. And obviously your kid's not going to look at this and be like, oh, my dog's only allowed to have X, Y, and Z. Kids are going to throw whatever the hell they want underneath that table and the dog's going to eat it.
Absolutely. So just like you're monitoring what your child's eating, it's probably not a bad idea to make sure, okay, I'm giving my child these little snacks or these little fruit snacks. Let me just make sure, okay, there's nothing crazy in here. So when she ultimately throws them all over the floor and the dogs come and clean them up, we're good.
That's the only time my dogs get any people food is when I make a mess in the kitchen and they have to come clean it up.
Absolutely. So again, if you're making moderate, wise decisions, starting them out as a young age, don't take your 12-year-old dog that's never had anything other than dog food before and try to give him a bowl of ice cream. You'll probably kill him. It's
inevitable. Kids are going to do whatever the hell they want.
Well, just like training the dogs. Train your kids not to feed the dogs more shit.
Yeah, train your 1-year-old that's throwing food all over the place.
Wise, moderate decision. I'm only giving the 1-year-old stuff that I know the dog won't die if it eats.
Okay.
I think this is a very clear winner here.
I think that I won.
In what world?
In every world, because you know what? Let's let our listeners decide. If you guys think that Ben won, you can go onto our Instagram when we post this and vote who won the great debate. So it's only going to be a 13-minute short episode. Check it out. Give us your feedback on it, and we will declare a winner on that day.
And if you guys have any other topics or ideas that might be worth hearing, Molly's side, my side, Dr. Pete's side, or anybody else that comes through here, let us know.
Or if you just want to see Ben and I go at each other's throats over a topic, submit it to us.
Absolutely.
We're more than willing to go to war over this stuff.
And we will be keeping receipts on who wins these.
Yes. Maybe at the end of the year we'll have an award for whoever won the great debate.
We can already just order it from me.
It's just going to say my name on it. It's okay.
We're
not all winners. We're not all winners.
I do think table scraps are probably bad, though.
I think.
My ultimate opinion, I don't give Duke very much.
See, you just lost your own argument.
No, I've already won the argument. It seems like there's some good benefits there. And I do give him some stuff, just not very much.
I know, I've given
moderate, wise choices.
I've given your dog table scraps.
Yeah,
and it's caused ear infections, which is why you shouldn't do it.
I've watched you give Sage like flaming buffalo Cheetos.
Shut up. She loves those.
Or Cheez-Its, whatever they were.
But it's not good to feed them. That's why I'm winning the argument.
It seems like she's doing just fine. She's a killer.
Oh my God.
Happy as can be too. She's got a big old smile on her face.
Oh God. All right, guys. Tune in next week.